Do 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 do. Are we live? Just checking. Yeah, we're live. Hey, I'm using EV Mux again today. Hope you're all okay. Hope everyone is doing pretty good. Hey, Gary, are you still there, Gary? Hope you're all right, mate. I'm just going to try and get the comments just to feed over a little bit. Just bear with me while I sort things out. Hey, yeah, we are live. How you doing? Imran, it's Thursday and I've had a very lethargic day. No, it's not a lethargic day. I've been busy, but about a couple of hours ago, I really felt my eyes giving up on me. I didn't have a very good night's sleep. I think I only got about 3 hours sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and then I struggled to go to sleep. And it wasn't because anything was stressing me out. I was just, hey, Gary, it wasn't because anything was stressing me out. I think it was just the fact of I just struggled to get back to sleep. So I was on my phone. And then I got up in the morning. And then, once the morning hits you and you're up and about, that's it. You're up and about. Hey, Maddie. Hey, friendly girl. Jean, hope you're all okay. By the way, if anyone does want to join in the live chat, if anyone is willing to be on camera and broadcast, you can jump in. Just let me know if you do want to join in. Okay, so if anyone wants to join in, you can do it. In fact, I'm just going to put a banner out. I'm just going to write something here and say, let me know if you want to join in. How are you all doing? Have you all had a great week? I had another situation similar to what I said to you the other day about how someone was basically fishing for free work. And when I started telling them, you're going to have to book a consultation or you got to pay for it, they got really narky with me again, like, oh, we support you. You should be supporting us. And it was like, I do support you. We got the community and we got YouTube, and I try to answer questions as best as I can. Right, so I'm just going to quickly write down here. Let me know if you want to join me on a camera. So if you want to join me on camera, let me know. Okay, so let's just show that. And you should see that skimming across the bottom now. Right, let's go back to the comments. Hey, Hollis Webb, how you doing? Hey, Sasha. Gary says, do you get the landscape icon in responsive mode in ePro? I don't think I do. I don't think I do, unless you've gone and set it up that way, Gary. So have you set up the breakpoint for that? Because I'm now going in and I'm going to add the screen. I'm going to share my screen in a moment as well. Let me just pop this on screen. I think there it is. Yeah. So if I add this on like... There we go. Right. You can ignore what we got there. So if I go to responsive mode, no, I only get... Yeah, so I don't get the landscape icon. Can you... I don't know if you can see it actually. There you go. So I don't get the landscape mode over there, Gary. You must have a breakpoint that has been set to show it that way. I'm assuming that's probably what's happened. Maybe. I don't know. Something like that. So if anyone wants to be on camera, this is your opportunity to join in on the live chat. You can do. You just have to say, hey, I want to join in, and I will share the link. In fact, I'm going to share the link with you guys here, okay? So if you want to join in, you can join in. There you go. There's the link if you want to join in, but you don't have to. So like I said, we had this person who's they've come and gone on the live chats. They're not a massive regular, but yeah, they were just not happy. And I've had another one as well today. Do you remember we did a video on Depictor a while ago, and Paul's done it as well? And can I look into it? And I've says, yeah, we have to do it as a consultation. What happens? You get the logins and you get the template they want. You get like a whole list of things that aren't working for them. So they want you to know, can you do it for them? And I'm like, for me to kind of get you to where you want to be, you have to pay for it. And this is a conversation we have so many times, okay? It starts to become very, very difficult the more you get used to like helping people out. But you have to kind of bite your tongue. You have to get to a point where you kind of just go, no, I'm not going to always help you out. You know, we can't do that. So, look, if anyone wants to join in on the live chat, we've got the link down there for you to jump in. Now, just because you jump in, if I don't feel like your camera quality is good, or I don't really know what I'm going to get or expect with you, I won't let you in. It's got to be at my discretion. But please do pop along if you want to. Hey, Artif. Artif is the new superstar, right? Like, he's all over the live chats now. Good to see you, Artif. And Mia, great to have you here as well. Hope you're doing okay. It's been an eventful 3 or 4 days, really, since we launched the course for the Web Squadron. I can't remember the word now, the Elemental website course. Please don't forget, if you do want to get an extra 25% off, you just have to use the coupon code, which is Boost, and I'll just pop the URL in again for anyone that wants to sign up. But it's been eventful because it's doing well. People are liking it. We're getting really good feedback. But I can tell that people would love to see more as well. So there is going to be a roadmap coming out on Monday to explain add-ons that will be coming out. And these add-ons, you don't pay anything extra for. So there are going to be templates. There are going to be ACF, more with posts, more with the loop grid. There's going to be stuff to do with WooCommerce, LMS. There's going to be a heap of stuff to coming out with Rank Math as well. So we're going to be adapting it more and more and more. For anyone who doesn't know, Atif hurt his hand yesterday quite severely in a cycle accident. However, so when Atif says his hand is getting better, he's referring to the accident that he had yesterday. And it's good to see that he's doing all right. So look, if anybody wants to join in on the live chat, this is your opportunity to pop in as well and join in on the conversation. But you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. You have to be dressed as well. You do have to be dressed. Looking forward to today's live, see what the guests are saying. Friendly girl, additional break. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there must be additional break points like Friendly Girl says there. Paul's not. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. Next time, the next time I will be going live will be, I think I'll be going live on Monday. I know I don't normally go live on Mondays anymore, but I probably will go live on Monday, mainly because we've got this course, and in 9 days' time, the 25% boost coupon ends. That's it. Okay, that coupon disappears and will never be repeated again. Will we have a Black Friday deal? Yeah, but it's not going to be 25%. I can tell you now. We might go to 15% or 20%, maybe 15 or 20%, but the 25%, that ends in 9 days' time. Hey, Sharon, Andre, is it Andre? Andrade? Andrade? I might get that wrong, sorry. You're a newbie to Elemental. You love the content and the tutorials. Hey, look. Hey, Dave. How you doing? That is exactly why we do it. It's to help people out, especially anyone who's very, very new to using Elemental, basically, because we love to help people out. We massively do. I'm just going to go and import a scene over here that I need to do. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to do something and I don't know how to do it. Layers, right. I've got to go get a layer that I need to import. So just bear with me while I import something. Has anyone here had a really bad situation this week that we can talk about or discuss? And I don't mean finger pointing. I don't mean naming or shaming anyone. But has anyone here had like a situation whereby they've kind of experienced something? Has anyone had anything that they want to talk about? Maybe. It's totally okay to say yay or nay to that. And if you've had a great week, let us know that you've had a great week as well. But if anyone here has had a bit of a problem, I'd love to know about it. And I don't say I'd love to know about it because like it gets us all excited, but sometimes I do wonder about what is happening in your lives when you are designing websites. Am I the only one that keeps having these like major problems with clients? Not every day, but the bulk of the time. Don't forget, you get 25% off with the course. And Andrades. I think that was it. Nearly close to it or not. Web Squadron run him over. I bet. Artif, if I had run you over, I probably would have damaged my car more. I would have been like, "Ugh!" John Sinaides, do you know if increasing PHP can cause major issues? No. Elementor struggles with 128, absolutely, because that's too little. You've got to go to 512 as a. To be honest, you can get away with 256. I've got websites that are on 256, but they've only got 4 or 5 plugins on there. So easily. But if you are going to start using WooCommerce and other stuff like that, I would say go to 512. You can get away with 256. The Learn Web Squadron website is actually a 256 and it's perfectly fine. Our Web Squadron website with the mastery modules is also fine with 256. So I would say that 512 is a reasonable benchmark. And if you can increase it to that, go for it. Sharon's got a question. Okay, so Sharon's question is, I'm going to attend a class, but will it be made available to rework? Sharon, it's not a class. It's a it's a load of tutorials, and you have lifetime access, right? It's not a live class, it's a lifetime access, and I'm going to be adding to it. So once you've got it, you're in. So no, it's not a one-off, okay? And I am going to be putting out a roadmap for what are the plans over the coming months with how I'm going to add on and put more into it. And that's what I really want to stress out. I don't want you to pay for something and then I go and put out another new course. That ain't happening. You may have noticed that the 7-hour video that I released in May is no longer available to the public anymore because some people don't like that. So that 7-hour video that we put out in May, that's no longer available to people. Now I've done that because it's a bit like, well, you got a 7-hour video and then you got this course. And what some people didn't understand was that 7-hour video did WordPress, Elementor, blogs, WooCommerce, LMS, Rank Math. There was a lot going on in that video and optimization and all of that. There was a lot. This course is 7 hours long, but it's only doing WordPress, Elementor, optimization, and blogs. We're not touching Woo. We're not doing LMS. We're not doing Rank Math. Because if we do that, that needs to be done in a more basic Tahoe Kangas. That is coming on. Yeah, don't worry. I need to be doing it in a bigger set of lessons. Because the LMS I covered off in about, I don't know, I think it was about 45 minutes. There was more to say and more to do on the LMS. So when I add that extension on to the course, right, that will be fuller and bigger. Just like WooCommerce. We covered off WooCommerce in an hour, you know, and I feel like I need to tell you more about certain settings. I need to tell you more about, well, what if you want to do X, Y, Z? What if you want to do da 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 da? You know, so I feel like we need to do a bit more. And I have also intentionally something that is different to the previous 7-hour video was I'm not using any premium plugins except Elementor Pro. Did you notice that in the video? If anyone's watched it, I'm not using Grid Builder. I'm not using ACF Pro. I'm trying to give you all a free solution. Now, I will still use Grid Builder later on, but I want to make sure I show you a free solution which is robust and works so that if you have invested in your domain, your hosting, and Elementor Pro, you're not going to go, oh, I want to do something else now, but I can't. I've got to follow Imran's video, but I can't. Because when I did the 7-hour video, the previous one, I was using Grid Builder for the post and for the WooCommerce filtering. So if you're trying to follow, but you've not got Grid Builder, it there's like it's almost like a premium restriction, right? So I've revisited what we're doing, and I now just want to kind of change that, and that's the idea. So when we do the LMS, it's going to be a bit more of a structured, broken down process rather than right now we're just going to do the LMS kind of thing. Yep. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Look, if anyone wants to join the live chats, the link is there. Okay, if you want to join me on the camera. Will you be teaching on responsive design? Yes, absolutely, Sharon. So I start with the desktop design, do that all, and then I move on to the mobile for those pages and stuff like that. So yeah, that is covered. But we are going to be expanding on that more. So within the roadmap, I am going to be doing more. And newsflash, to let you know, and I mentioned it earlier, I have already kind of mapped out actually no, scratch one off now. It was going to be 8, it's now 7. Okay, so let me get this right. There's going to be 7 hero banners that I'm going to design. They're all very, very different, but they are real. So I'm not just going to do a fancy hero banner design. It's going to be something you could use. They will be mobile responsive, and I will be making them available to you in the course. So when you're in the course, there will be an area where you can go and download this hero banner template, or maybe this hero banner, and it will be using just Elementor Pro, no other fancy plugins and premium stuff, but it'll be something that you can download and reuse. I was going to do some for Loop Grid. The trouble is, though, that when you try to package up a loop grid and put that into it, unless it's a template kit, it falls over, which is a bit of a problem. John, would you consider the free filter everything plugin over WP Grilldev? Do you know something, John? I'm not. I will revisit it. When I first used the filter everything, I didn't like it. I will revisit it. I have some other ideas in mind. Don't want to say which ones yet. But I will revisit it because yeah, I will revisit it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Artif's got a question, which I'm sure you answered, but maybe good to reiterate. Of course, Artif. But what makes this course the one to watch as opposed to others? Okay. So, number one, it's not expecting you to be an expert. Number two, even if you are an expert, you are going to learn new methods of building a website. Stuff like font clamp calculation, thinking about your mobile optimization, thinking about your page speed optimization, thinking about all the things you should be doing for your website or your clients before you build. Did you know the first 40 odd minutes is called the pre-build? The first 40 odd minutes is pre-build. Images, WAF2 font compression. Where'd you get your fonts from? Where'd you go to get it compressed for free? How'd you do your WebP images for free? There's loads of stuff I discuss, and what I don't do is, I don't want to say waste your time. That's the wrong thing to say, but I don't waste your time on let's go and explore certain things, the theory sometimes. Let me bore you to death. I want you to learn things that you can apply to your websites now and future websites. So you are better prepared and prepped up. Like the page speed optimization, the fact you have to check your website score before you start building. You know, when you get all of these things in place, and when you think about it, okay, when you're working with a client and you say, yeah, what font do you want? Okay, did you even check that you could get it and convert it to WAF2? What images do they want? Is it the right color set? Does it fit the branding? When you start to think about all of these things, you are going to be much better prepped up. But then it's about the building, and you'll notice how I don't use font clamp calculation everywhere. I only use font clamp calculation where I need to. So sometimes it's okay to use pixel or REM. Let me tell you now, right? You know the body text. If your body text is always going to be 18 on the desktop and 16 on the mobile, or 16 and 16, you can get away with not doing font clamp. I can tell you now, you don't have to. So many people will throw things at me. Oh, you got to use REM. Yeah, but sometimes you can get away without doing that. Also, it's about how you build the perfect hero banner with the right font, the right sizing, the clamp calculation. And then the next section or container is kind of a copy because you've kind of done your settings, you know, the 20 pixel padding on the left and right. And it doesn't matter what breakpoint size you're on, that 20 pixel padding is always there. Hallelujah, right? It's always there. You go to mobile, the padding is there. And when you get into the mindset of reusing widgets that you've already used on the page, and you get into the habit of smashing out the home page, every other page and container is an iteration. You will fly. All of a sudden, you spent 6 hours on the home page, every other page, an hour, maybe, give or take, you're flying through it because you got everything in, the components all in. So yeah, that was a good question, Artif. I'm surprised you can type. Hollis says, a snippet about me. I'm retired and picked up web design for entertainment. Sounds dodgy, but I will let you go on that. I did designing back during the days of AOL. Oh, AOL. The the host provider server email. At least said I was like AOL. Is that lockdown? Wow. It reminds me of someone at work who to this day their personal email is Tiscali. And whenever I see them, they literally log in to Tiscali still. I feel like they're the only person in the world that uses Tiscali still. But yeah, that's really good to read that, Hollis, actually. Yeah, Gary makes a good point as well. There are other tutorials out there. I'm not knocking them, but they will approach it a certain way. If you're used to how I do tutorials, I like to make sure that we have a storyboard as we're almost going through it, and there's a reason. And I like to call out things you really shouldn't do, or you might do this, but this is a better way of how to do it. And I don't like to feel like, hey Jericho, how you doing? By the way, look, if anyone wants to join the live chat, you can use that. You can use the link that I've just said there. Jump in. Yeah, what was I saying? I'm not expecting you to be an expert, but at the same time, experts shouldn't go, oh, this is going to be too simple. There's always something you can learn from it. And I've had that feedback from many people. At the same time, I'm not talking down to you. I'm not going to say, hey, Lofi, my back was okay. And then this morning it started hurting again. I feel like this is going to take a while. It's going to take a while to kind of kick in, kind of thing. Jeannie. Paul was a Tiscali reseller. Paul, you were the man. I mean, do you remember in them days, right? We're talking about 1997 now, 1998, 1999 era, right? You got a CD, right? And a CD said AOL or Tiscali or BT Internet at the time or whatever. And you had to put the CD into your computer, your PC. When you had to load it up before you could get all the modem installed and all of that. Do you remember those? You used to get them through the post. Join Tiscali, and I remember some people used to think, well, what's this? And they stuck it into their music player, thinking it was a music CD because they didn't understand the internet. I mean, I got the internet in our house. I'll tell you a story. In our house, when I used to live with my mum and dad, in my bedroom, which was upstairs, I got my own phone line installed, and my mum and dad went ape shit on me. They were not happy because they didn't understand. They didn't want to get the internet. They were like, oh, the internet, we don't need the internet. This is 1999, right? I went and got BT to install my own phone line with my own phone number in my bedroom so that I could then connect to it to go and basically get the internet. you know Crazy stuff I did. Power Down says, right, I just had my first client call for website management. I told them I want $1,000 up front and then monthly payments to manage the website. Okay, that sounds interesting. However, I was thinking of asking for commission. So okay, look, what's the track record of this company? power down. Um, is there evidence to show they are always making sales? And I don't just mean, oh, this month they made X. I mean, like in the last 12 months, can you see regular stuff coming in? Because maybe then you could offer that. The trouble with that, though, is what is the value of the commission? Will they go with it? Because then you're eating into their overheads. They might like it, because if you're saying, I mean, what you have to understand, though, right? Let's say they make $10,000 a month. How much of that is gross profit and how much is net? So if the net profit of that 10,000 they make every month is actually 1,000, so 90% is overheads, 10% is the net profit. What do they do with that? Do they split it within the team? So don't assume that, oh, they make 10,000 a month. What is the net profit? And I think that's the vital bit. So can you get a cut of that? Yeah, that's what I would say. Thank you very much. I'm glad. Well, I'm using EV Mux, by the way, John Cyaniders. I'm using EV Mux, so it's a pretty cool way of showing stuff. And don't forget, if you want to, no one wants to join the live chat. No one wants to join the live chat. Paul was doing that around. It is funny, isn't it? AOL install, off topic, back issue, try inversion therapy. Is inversion therapy where you lie upside down? Is inversion therapy, Hollis, the one where you lie upside down with an upside down, like that kind of like Michael Keaton Batman thing where you lie upside down? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Artib is saying join in on chat. Hi, Ground Pets. How are you doing? I've just seen something coming in. Yes, it is the upside down one. Right. Yeah. So Hollis is saying, I did non-profit sites. The people I work with did not have a mission statement, no logo, no color scheme, but needed a site. I got out of it because peeps. Yeah, well, many of you know my view on not for site profits, okay? Not whenever someone says to me, "Hey, we are a not-for-profit company," I always say to them, "Okay, that's cool, but what are you taking as a salary?" Because I know you're saying you are not for profit, but that doesn't mean you are not going to take a cut. Not for profit means that if this is all the money they get, how much of that goes towards admin, salary? How much of that goes to rent or electricity and all these other overheads? So how much is actually going back to where you think? And I think you'll be surprised that for every £1 you give, there might only be 15 or 20 pence of every pound that you donate or dollar that actually goes where you want it to go. And then when I find out that they're taking big cuts, you have to understand they're always going to be taking that cut. All right. So I get a little bit funky dory funny over that a little bit. I sent someone to join your course. His site was 7 mobile and 13 desktop out. I hope he joins. Oh, right. His page speed performance. Well, that I hope they join and I hope they learn and they start to utilize. But like I said, we have got a roadmap coming out very, very soon. So please do keep a lookout on Monday where I'm going to share more with you. Can you believe it? I must be the only course creator that has a roadmap. Do you think I'm going to be the only course creator that has a roadmap? Oh, I just put in the wrong link. Sorry. What do you think about that? Do you think anyone else out there has ever put out a roadmap? If they have, I'd love to know about it. What do you think? What do you think? Am I the only person who will be putting out a roadmap on Monday? And don't forget that boost coupon code ends on 9 days time. Where was I? I was talking about something, wasn't I? Was it about the course? No, it wasn't about the course. I think it was about, not-for-profit companies. If you know, though, that charity is part of a network and a lot of people in there may need a new website, then you can do a reduced, I can't get my words out, a reduced proposal for the website. You could do that. But then you got to make sure that every other website you build, you're not always doing it at the reduced cost, because you could like create a precedent, and then it becomes very difficult to start charging more, especially if your value of what you put in goes up. So Ground Pet says, what do you mean by what do I mean by a roadmap? We have the course, 7-hour course. You get a template kit and loads of other crap. You get loads of stuff. It doesn't stop there. You've paid. It doesn't mean that's all you get. I am going to be adding in a WooCommerce module. You do not pay extra. I'm going to be adding in templates for Hero Banner. You do not. Kate, I had one. It wasn't negative. It was just that they felt I sometimes talk too fast. That was it. So I had one comment where they said you talk too fast a little bit. They did say, though, they loved the course. The content was great. I just felt that you do sometimes talk a bit fast, but they still love the course. And I can assure you that's what they said, because I've got it over here. They loved the course, but they just felt I could slow down. So, but don't forget, when you are watching the video, there is a setting down here when you are watching it where you can slow down the speed. You can slow it down. Gary, I am going to modify that a little bit. You know what you just popped up there? I am going to modify that a bit because I had a bit more of a think about it last night. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So in October, it's mainly going to be the hero kits. Yeah, there won't be 19. I don't know where did I put 19? That might be a typo. At the minute I'm planning 7. So I am going to rejig it, but coming in October, there will be 7 desktop responsive hero banners coming out. And those hero banners will have clamp in there. They're going to be a little bit different in layout, just a little bit different. And I'm looking forward, and I'm quite excited about what we're putting out there. And I've just recorded a couple of videos today to do with ACF. I've created a video that's coming out on Monday. Okay, and this is for everyone, not just the course members. How to have a dynamic hero banner. And that's all I'm going to say. A dynamic hero banner, which means depending on what you do in the back end, it could change every day. A dynamic hero banner. And I'm going to share that with you on Monday. No, I lie. I share that with you on Tuesday, because Monday shows you how to do something, and then I reuse that something in the hero banner. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So yeah, the only negative feedback, even if I want to call it, negative, was just that some people do think that. I mean, I have to admit, I am conscious of it. I know that. And by the way, when I say this, I'm going to say this as a compliment. Okay, so Paul is really good with his delivery. Dave Foy is I think Dave Foy is like the masterclass with how he delivers. He has his timing is so good. Even Ferdy, and I know Ferdy's first language isn't English. Same with Reno, but the way they deliver, they're not maybe as fast or as me. And sometimes I purposely try to slow myself down. But if anyone ever feels that when I am delivering, you feel like it is too quick, you have the speed setting, so you can change it from 1 to 0.75 maybe. So that might help you out as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the videos on the course are delivered via Muse.ai. But even though it's delivered by Muse.ai, you can. Gary, on Monday, I will be sharing out the roadmap. So I'll let you know about. In fact, the roadmap will be on the website. So on learn.websquadron.co.uk, there will be a menu item called roadmap, so that you will be able to see all of that in there. Yeah. Well, it's something like that, Ground Pets, but I will share more about that on Tuesday when that particular video comes out. So yeah, if anyone ever worries about the speed on the videos on the course, you can change the resolution, you can change the speed, you can watch it in full screen as well. And Is there anyone here who's I know some of you are, but I'm not gonna say who. It's up to you. Is there anyone on here who, I had to slow it down. Did I sound drunk? The first video I watched of yours, I had to slow it down. Did I sound drunk? Maybe it was because, oh dear, did I really? But I hope if you have watched a video like Paul, I hope you like the way it was presented, in that it didn't have all of the YouTube icons everywhere. Um, it felt kind of like, I don't know, it felt good. I hope it came across good, even if it did sound drunk. I still do have Pepsi Max, maybe 1 or 2 bottles a week. I'm now down to 1 or 2 bottles. Oh, right, Paul. Paul's now clarified why I sounded drunk. So, yeah, I mean, if you slow it down, I might sound a little bit like this. And then it starts to sound like AI and artificial and not so good, right? Yeah, Paul's really good with his delivery. I think it's sometimes to do with I'm a get up and go person. From a young age, I was always the enthusiastic one. I'm the kid in 1985 or 86 when I was like 8 years old. I'm the kid who would get the pocket money and go and get the latest comic of Thundercats, Transformers, the X-Men. I was reading all of that stuff in 86, okay? I would always go and spend my money on comics. I was always the one who wanted to achieve, even though I knew I wasn't good at everything. Trust me, I wasn't, but I loved drawing. I loved art. I loved mathematics, believe it or not. I loved creating stuff. Sometimes I would just sit there looking at my hand and I would start to sketch my hand. And I remember my teachers entered me for a competition until I realized that the other people in that competition were like amazing, but it was still good. And I was featured in the newspaper as well because I drew a picture of my hand drawing a picture of a lion. And it was just like people loved it. They loved the realism and all of that. But I think there's something to do with I like to get out a lot. I like to cram as much as I can in the time I have, which is why I'm always talking. But if anyone wants to join the live chat, you can. And if maybe this has caught you off guard, we will be doing more of these, okay, in future, where if you want to jump in, you can jump in, okay? You can do that. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes, Kate, it's a bit like, well, to be honest, if I'm watching one of Paul's videos and then I need to reprocess it or I didn't get it, you just rewind a bit or you pause it and you do something else and then you jump back into the video. So I always say that, I mean, never, ever, 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 ever watch a 7-hour video in one go. All right. Get to a point, get the timestamp, whatever, move on to something else. Otherwise, you will drain yourself out. Lots of breathing techniques are used by professionals. I have tried that. Doesn't always work with me. I think I forget to breathe, Kate. I think like if I was to do loads of breathing techniques, I'd probably like just keel over, collapse live on camera. Um, my new phone comes tomorrow. So at the minute, I'm using 4K. I've got 4K here, but because I'm broadcasting a live stream, you won't get the full 4K. It doesn't look like proper 4K. It drops down when you stream. But tomorrow, I get my new camera so that I'm going to be doing more vertical shorts because I feel like I'm not utilizing shorts a lot more to stick on LinkedIn and Twitter and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing more of them. And luckily, it's the 48 megapixel front, not front, back camera. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Michael, I would go on camera, but it's against the witness protection program. What? Hey, grandpets. Hey, you're jumping in. Right, I'm going to add you to the scene, mate. Are you ready? Oh, can you hear me, grandpets? Yeah, you can. Right, cool. Right. I'm gonna stop share. So Ground Pets is about to join in everyone. I'm gonna just get rid of some overlay effect and Ground Pets is in. So Ground Pets has been I mean, you started joining our by the way, are you getting any echo from me? Are you okay with your sound?
I can join for about 10 minutes, and then my little girl's coming home, so it's
No.
very brief.
No, Ground Pets. The way it works is if anyone does join in, by the way, you come and you go. You don't even have to say bye, you just jump out. In fact, you just do that and then you jump out again. You don't even have to say bye. Um, you've been joining the live chats, I think, now for about, tell me if I'm wrong, but is it 2 or 3 months now you've been coming? Oh, no, or were you coming on a while ago?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I come on about 9 months ago, and then
9 months ago, yeah.
I tried to make a website, and it's like container, then it's section. So I just thought, you know what, for the next several months, I'm not going to do no website stuff. It's so confusing. There is no videos with container, and it's a past month or two. I've gone, oh, there's loads of videos, and I'm going to try and get back into it.
That's why
And
you've come back in then. Yeah, I did wonder. So I kept thinking, I'm sure you were on it a while ago. And I have to say to people, I got to apologize if ever I forget names. Now, whereabouts are you based? You're in UK?
yeah, I'm down in Kent, down in Dover, buddy. You're up in
Oh,
London.
yeah. I used to go. So I live in Leicester. When I worked in the NHS, every Monday I had to go to Dover, literally Dover, for the NHS meeting, and it would take me 4 hours of my life every morning to get to Dover for a 1 hour meeting, and then 4 hours to go back to get back to my basically home or the office. So I would lose an entire day. And if anyone here has ever driven, and you're going through London, and the Dartmouth or the crossing, it is an absolute pain, and I hated it. And then going via train was no better sometimes, except the train from or what's it called, Ash. There's a station that goes to London from Kent, and it's actually quite quick.
Ashford, speed train.
That's the one. Yeah, I mean that is
Brilliant.
why are that's the trains you need around the country, right? So
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you're going back into containers. Have you making that transition? Are you okay with it? Have you found it pretty okay?
Because I originally done it for, I won't advertise myself because it's your channel.
Yeah,
So I originally done it for myself, and then I got stuck lots of times because it was a bit of this, bit of that. I'm going, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
yeah,
sense. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to stop doing this for several months because I'm just doing it's constant headache. And then I started. I was, oh, you got this tutorial all about like 7 hours long, so I've been starting to do that. There's a few. Where were you? Where you? I think you was 35 hours edit down to 7. There's a few things in there. I had to keep going back on it and try and work out how to do a few things. Like doing, as you do now, I did an image. I'm going image. Oh yeah, dragged image. It's little things like that you have to go. But at the same time I'm doing it, I'm doing it a little bit each day. So even though it's little things you've got to work out. So even though it's not 100%, it teaches you at the same time what to do next, if that makes sense. It kind of
yeah,
programs you.
yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
my tip, and I'm not saying go buy the course, by the way. And if all right, Artive's joining the scene as well. I'm going to let you in a minute, Artive, you little stinker. Let you in. Is is that the new course? So that's one of the things I started realizing. I put out a 7 hour video, but it's really big, and that's when I realized if I put it as a course and everything is broken down in steps, now you know, right? Imran talked about the image bit, and then you can see where it is in the module,
I
and you
would,
can,
as I'm live and I'm just going to chuck it out there because everyone says it, I'm going to be the first one to chuck it in there. I'd love a pure module on it, on when you show about all the what's it called, e-commerce. Like you got, like Amazon, for example, you got all the bar on the far left, you got this. It's basically a pure course, all the how to do multiple different things. Yeah, for that. Yesterday's really good live, by the way. That
yeah.
was brilliant.
So Artive's here, and I'm going to let you talk in a minute, Artive. I mean, the guy has got a broken hand or whatever, and he's swimming. I mean, talk about like taking a risk, right? But so Ground Pets. By the way, what is your name, Ground? I can't keep calling you Ground Pet.
Jonathan.
Jonathan, John. So there is going to be people that have got the course. When I do the WooCommerce lessons, they just get added on, and you don't.
Mm.
No one pays extra. And I really do feel like I'm doing something so different, because other people
100%.
I know, they do a
Love it.
course and then they go, oh, now we're going to tell you about WooCommerce. You got to pay extra for that. Or you got to do this. And I've just decided, no, once you've bought it, you're in. It's now for me to just keep nurturing people with stuff like that. And that's why, like I said, there will be hero banners. There's no point me creating 20 different websites because I don't know what you want. But if I can create 7 or 8 realistic hero banners that I would happily use, it might help people who have struggled in the past with their hero banner. They can now go, hey, I like the look of that. And they can just import it in and start working on it. So Artif, do you want to hold up your hand? Do you want to show us your muscle? Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, your hand. That's what I meant. Yes. So we can see he's got his bum all bandaged up there.
You hit him really with a car.
Oh, you can hear them coming in. Yeah. Well, don't worry, mate. When you have to jump off, you go, oh, it was you who hit him. You're saying, sorry, I just realized what you said there.
Yeah. So the car in it.
I mean, I would have been, I'm not going to scared, but I would have been scared shitless, right? If I got hit by a car. Like, the moment you go down, I can only imagine, Artif, like, did you actually hit the floor? You must have.
I don't know. I didn't actually get hit by the car. I didn't get hit by the car. The car was, he kind of cut me up, and that kind of threw me off balance. And then he drove off.
Was it hit the curb and go down, or was it just
Yeah. Was it a BMW?
It might have been, Yeah.
Wow, if it's a BMW, wow. It might have been him. Wow, this way.
Yeah, I know. Ground pets. Sorry, John. You will get used to the fact, though, the direction you think you need to go in is always the opposite when you try.
I'm not expecting that.
It's this way or that. I mean, obviously, Artif, it's getting better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Thankfully, it's not too serious. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I must say, yesterday's live chat was really, really interesting. By the way, everyone, and I thought I've spoken to Verdi in the past. Artif, we've had meetings and stuff without code snippets, and Artif's had tons more meetings. But I was really glad that it kind of put out a different view of Verdi that I think a lot of people don't always get to see, because you always see like the formal image almost of Elemental. It's like Ben Pines, who used to do Elemental. Behind the scenes, he was really chatty. But always when you, like Ziv, all of them, when you see them, they're very formal sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's all scripted. But behind the scenes, they're really genuinely nice people. And I love to do that. But
yeah, you love his stories. He's always got a story, and I think that's why we never get any work done, because he's always talking about something.
He does, doesn't he?
He's got some story to share.
Yeah, be very careful. Never ask Verdi how he is, because the meeting's over before you even get to the agenda. Forget it. I mean, sometimes he invites me, and I'm just like, I just turn my mic off and I just sit there working away until I hear my name mentioned. But yes, so John,
he's a lot like you, man, actually. Sorry, just to interrupt. He's a lot like you. You've got lots of interesting stories, and there was I think a live.
I got shit, guys.
I don't get
take care, Grant. Take care, John. See you. Bye.
But actually, I was going to say, I think you should do some more videos just on that, because you've got such an interesting and varied past. You've done so many different things. You've been through so much. I think you've been through more than most people in a lifetime.
Do you know something, Artif? There's a lot of people that know my background history, and they have said to me, why don't you write a book? And I think the reason I don't is because I feel like I will offend a lot of people, not people watching or listening, but it's more about, I think if any of my family members or even some of my old friends read, I think they'd be really upset. But I think it's like, if I'm honest, I didn't have a happy childhood. I didn't really. I don't enjoy anything about. I think from the age of 7, the relationship between me and my family, it was like it was always like like a tinderbox going off kind of thing, and I could not wait to leave home. But the moment I left home and I was able to forge out my own life, and I did it in weird circumstances. A lot of people don't. There's a lot of people in my extended family that don't know that I had a brain tumor in 1999, and it affected my university and my career aspirations. And I entered what I call the dark zone of my life. Then for 2 years, I was afraid to be around people, like just anyone. I had to be on my own, and I had a job, but I was very like, I hardly spoke. People used to say to me, you know, like, what's up with you? And it took a long time for me to kind of become confident. But then once I got back into being me, and I think that's what keeps me young. Like Atif, how old are you?
Oh, Imran, what
Oh,
are you
come
doing,
on,
man? What are
Atif,
you doing?
come on,
What are you
spit
doing,
it
man?
out, spit it out.
I, I am 35. 35?
Are you?
Yeah.
I
But
actually
who
thought you
looks?
were
Let's take
older.
a poll. Let's take a
I
poll.
actually thought you were older, Atif. Do you
Who
know
looks
that?
older, me or him? Whichever way it
I
is.
actually did feel you think you were older, but I think that's because you've got more grey hair. You see, down here,
Yeah. I got loads of grey hair in my. I don't know why I'm coming out with so many greys.
mate.
Married life.
You're gonna be like Gandalf by the time you hit 40 with the white hair.
No, but this is what I mean. I think you're so energetic, and so if someone just came across your videos, they wouldn't have any clue. I definitely I can say this about me, that you've been through so much, and even fine, you don't have to go into nitty-gritties, but having some videos just talking about your
That's
experiences
actually
and coming out of it, I think that would be
I am
it's
not
really good.
joking. I am not joking here, Artif. Right? Yeah, but here's a
Mm,
list of what I call. There's a list of 19 videos that I want to record, which are going to be shorts. But I've got a series of shorts, which is called. It's you probably gonna say it's the life story of me,
that's true. Yeah.
right? And I've even done a branch to kind of go. It can't be just one video. It's got to branch off. You know, like no. It's got to be quite a few there. So I want to do that, but I also want to kind of because I think there is something about getting to know the real you and who you are. Because to
Mm,
be honest, I know bits and pieces about other influencers as well. You know, like so for instance, Paul, he shares a lot about his family and his rock, going playing rock music. Dave, I know he had some he had some health concerns. Jamie, there's lots of people have different
mm.
things, but I don't think we ever really get to know who they really are. And sometimes a bit like when I said with Verdi, there's a persona, isn't there?
Yeah,
You
everyone
know,
has persona for sure. You have to, in a way, especially if you're being a bit of a you're doing what you're doing, content creator, and out
yeah.
on YouTube, to get yourself seen and people want to view your videos and things, you have to have a bit of a personality. Otherwise, it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah,
But
well, I don't know.
I,
Sometimes that's more interesting. At least it's achieved something. I'd rather do that.
yeah,
If
I
I
feel
know I
like
can
that's something,
continue
isn't it?
decorating, I'd rather the paint dry. Now, Johnny's got a question here. He said he had problems migrating. Um, Right. Okay. So, Johnny, if you have a website and you've migrated it, what is going wrong for you? Because I would probably say that you might need to just, regenerate your CSS, purge your site, purge your server.
Mm,
Is it maybe that you haven't? Because look, you could have an Elemental website and you could go to a new one, but do you have to go back through the Elemental settings? So if on one website you had the containers activated, but the other one
mm.
isn't, anything built with containers you won't see. So you just got to double
Do you know,
check.
Imran, how he's done it? I think that's a good question. Unless you already know, what process did he do to migrate the site?
Tiscally. Use Tiscally.
Use this guy.
Just use a CD-ROM. There you go. Install. So yeah, Johnny, if you can tell us a bit more about how you did that, because I think that
Because
if you
I
use it
use
all in,
all in one. I use
yeah,
all in one. I've never had any problems. Maybe the
absolutely.
most is I have to regenerate the CSS, but that's like
I
the
have had
only
a
thing I've
problem
ever.
with it.
Ah,
Uh,
okay, cool, interesting.
I had one, but that was because the client's website was 12 gigabytes.
Wow,
And
really?
when it was importing, it kept sticking. It literally
Uh,
kept sticking. And in the end, I took a risk and I just deleted loads of I exported their media library,
mm-hmm.
deleted their media library. I took a major risk. Um, then I did it and then I re-imported it. And there was about an hour's worth of fixing some broken image links. But
Yeah, yeah.
the bulk of and here's the thing that really gets me. The bulk of images they're like PNG. They weren't
Mm,
compressed or converted or anything. And clients don't delete old images, so they're like images that are not used on the website.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you're designing it, you're like, do I delete it? Do I not delete it? Are they going to get worried? So like
No, I have
the
this problem. I often don't delete because then you just kind of think, I might use that again, and then I have to like find it, shall I upload it again? But then half the time you don't. So you maybe it's a good idea to just take the jump, just delete it.
ooh, so Johnny
And that's
says that
oh,
when he turns off code snippet, it is
okay. Nice to
working.
see you guys. I want to be off
Yeah, yeah.
now.
See you later. So Johnny, here's what I would say. Yeah, um, Johnny, is Coconut your real surname? I really do worry a little bit. What is your real name? Is it really Johnny? And is it really Coconut? You know, but I would say, can you activate those page speed optimization plugins one at a time? And the one that causes the issue, let me know. But then you have to compromise. And because I don't know what else you've got on your website, what other plugins, whatever else is on there, I know on a lean and mean website, those snippets work absolutely fine and should not have affected anything.
Yeah.
So
The
it
only
could,
thing I could say just related to this is there was a bit of an issue with Elementor in the version 3.5 that we recently released. And that was quickly picked up, but we have, I think, the next day or a day after released a patch for it. So make sure that you're on the latest version, I guess 3.5.1.
that's a good point, actually.
We've
That
not
I
had
mean,
any other issues reported since then. There was an issue, but it got fixed pretty quickly.
yeah, that is a really good point. But yeah, make sure you got the latest versions. And if I was you, I would just kind of add them in one by one.
Mm.
Michael says we're archive unused images to an on-off website storage. Michael, I would normally agree with that, but this website had like 19,000 images. And oh, Artif's just gone off. I'll just remove him from the scene for a moment. He might be back or he might not. But yes, so 19,000 images, and they weren't using the bulk of those images, so it made absolutely no sense why they still had them on there. Now, Johnny, I would say, yeah, go and add your snippets back in one at a time, right? Start with the purge one. I know, Gary, over 19,000. I am not making up that number. And for anyone that has gone and got the course, and I'll put the layer back on as well, but anyone that has got the course, you know the template kit for that demo website, which I know is only 5 pages. No, is it 5? It was either 4 or 5 pages. I think it was 4 pages, and it's got a loop grid in there and single post template and images and all of that. That entire demo site, right? 4 pages, images, stuff going on, loop grid blog, is 80 megabyte. No, it's not 80, it's 100. Because I added something else, and it's 100 megabyte. So if you've got a website that is like 500 megabytes, you need to investigate why. And if you're hitting a gigabyte, you need to really stop and think why. And if you are 14 megabytes, or was it? No, it's 12 megabytes. You seriously need to like start cleaning up your website for what you got going on there. Yeah, no problem, Artie. Look, it was great to have you here. So John, it wasn't a vendor website. They were basically just adding in images. So whenever they did a blog post, they were dropping in like images and images, but none of them were compressed or converted. In the end, I got them to use Optimol at the time. Now I would advise them to use EWWW because that is a really brilliant plugin for optimizing. And God, did it take a long time to optimize all of that. I mean, it took a long time. Right. Friendly girl, their folders. Yep. Do you know something, friendly girl? I'm not always a fan of using folders because sometimes I hate having to go in and out of folders, but you do make a good point whereby sometimes, maybe if you are wanting to get rid of old stuff, you can do and you know where it might sit. But also it means that it's easy to find things as well, as like you said, in case you lose anything on there. Well, John, do you know what? If I recall, they were on GoDaddy. let's not even go there with GoDaddy, right? I think they were with GoDaddy, and it handled it okay. Hey George, how you doing? By the way, George, you know, if anyone wants to join the live chat, they can do. Oh yeah, Artif. So Artif goes, I didn't say how old I actually thought Artif's gonna hate me for this, okay? Like right now, Artif, your finger's gonna explode. But I thought Artif was older than me. I was gonna say 46, 47. So I've just added 10 years onto your age. And the fact that you fell off your bike makes me now even think that, you know, and by the way, I'm not ageist, okay? I'm not ageist, but I did wonder. I remember when I was about 29 and I was going to like a pub with mates, and the doorman stopped me and went, "You can't come in." And I was like, "Hey, I'm like 29 or 28, 29." He was like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. You're lying. You're lying." And I had to show him my driver's license. And even then he was like, "No, yeah." And I went, "Look, I've got this bank card. You can't get this bank card if you're not 18. And I'm 29. And we had a bit of a mini argument. And in the end, they let me in, right? They let me in. But has anyone else had that? You know, like, has anyone been stopped for going, "No, you're too young. You can't come in"? Linda, her friend is still adding to her blog without proper image names. Urgh. So in the course, I taught, yeah. Well, do you know what, John? You look quite young. You look young. You could pass for a 19-year-old, right? So here's what I'm going to say. My website site can be dry. Oh, Don, I'll get to your question in a moment. So Linda, the reason why you need to have good image names is because you can use the image name as the alt name. And if your image name has got the keyword in there, it's like a plus, right, for your search engine optimization. But Linda, if you are struggling and your photographer is not doing proper web peeing, then EWW, which is about $5 a month or something like that, is a really good solution. Okay, question from Don. My mobile site can be dragged a bit left and right. Okay, so most likely, yeah, overflow hidden, which is what you've done. However, then the menu doesn't work. Is there a solution? Okay, Don, how about, Don, you email this email address, info@websquadron.co.uk. Can you email us with the URL for your page just so that we can get it on screen and have a quick look? If we can get it on screen, we might be able to identify what is the problem. Is it Z indexing? Is it something must be stopping it, right? I don't know. Could be loads of stuff. Sorry, I'm just going to get down to question. Ali Stoika Kovac, how you doing? Could you give me your feedback? Yeah, what you need to do is email me. If you email me really quickly, we can get you on, right? We can get you on. We can get you on. Well, not get you on, but we can put your website live and we can have a quick look at it. So how about you do that for me? If you want to share it, by the way, but you don't want to. So Artif says, it's very interesting you mentioned getting to know people. I actually have a lot of white hair due to a skin condition I have. Oh, really? I'm not gonna say the name because I'm probably gonna get it wrong. But I used to know someone that used to go to my gym 20 odd years ago where they had a skin condition or something inherited where they got white hair very, very quickly. I don't know what it is. I can't remember the name exactly what it was, but they did have something, you know. I think it was called an agenda. The condition was called an agenda. Sharon, I just purchased a course and I'm already enjoying how you lay out the flow. Is this downloadable? The videos are not downloadable, but you can just log in and watch them. The reason why the videos are not downloadable and the content is not downloadable is because I once did that a while ago and someone was starting to put the content on elsewhere. I'm not saying you would do that, Sharon, but I'm trying to keep everything protected on the website, but also still be easily accessible. And you can watch the videos and follow everything on your mobile phone as well. So you don't need to be at a computer. But yeah, at the moment it's on the site, Sharon. Sorry about that, but it's I've tried to keep the overheads as low as possible in terms of how we do it. Have you got it so T? Have you got it so T? Have you got it so T? Not sure about that. Hey, RT, take care. Don't worry, mate. Thanks for being here and thanks for joining the live chat as well. It was great to have you here, my friend. I mean, we've been live now for 1 hour, 5 minutes. And I liked it that we had John from Ground Pet and we had RT pop in as well. And I think that's something that I am looking to do more and more. Right. So Ali has now sent his website. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Ali has now sent his website and I'm going to open up his website and we're going to have a look at it. So let me add this to the scene. Let me get rid of my template banners and I'm now going to just shrink myself. Boom. Right. So here we have Ali's website, everybody. Okay. So let's now have a good look at this. So I'm going to refresh the page again. And there's a bit of animation coming in, which the animation's not bad, to be honest. It's pretty okay. Let me just... hold on. Let me get this right. There we go. So, real estate... the logo's okay. I mean, I can't really read it out. And I get the logo. It looks like two dragons. I think they're dragons either side. The only problem with this is the image is... the overlay is so strong, right? The overlay is so strong. Oh, turn off translation. Well, yeah, all right. Let me turn that off then. Show original. Right, there we go. Yeah. So there's the original. The trouble with the overlay, it is so strong that I can't make it out. I'm having to stare. Like I can see a cabinet. I can see a table. I didn't see the sofa. Now I can see it. Plan. It's a bit of guesswork. Yeah. This is this an official logo? Because it starts to feel governmental. Dave makes a good comment over there. He says the logo reminds me of a country's coat of arms. Yeah, it does as well to me. Anyway, let's scroll down. Now you see, look, here's where I feel like we've missed a trick. Look at this image here. Look at how powerful that image is. That's a bit stock photography, but look at the power of that image. That is what I call vavavoom. It's got age, it's got antiquity, it's got distress on the walls. It really jumps. Here, it doesn't fit with what we got here because that looks like an IKEA room there, but we've got an overlay and then we go distress. So the connection between the two doesn't really work for me over there. Hollis says the side menu. Oh, are you referring to something else, Hollis? I don't know. Johnny, I feel... Okay, yeah, Johnny, I'll have a look at yours, but in a moment as well. Right, let's just scroll down. The side menu fixed hero section of it. Oh, is there a side menu? Have I missed it? Is there a side menu? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Right, let me just go back to looking at the website. Okay. So I'm just trying to look at the comments. Right. Anyway, we get down here. So we've got a distressed image. I feel like you need to use that kind of style. There's a lot of black. I feel like there's too much black going on here. Like that's a big empty space over there. The icons, this is annoying. So imagine they're now on a mobile, right? When you're on the mobile, they're going to get this color change and sometimes it's overkill. The icons feel very standard. Yeah. Sorry, Hollis. I thought you were referring to the, I wasn't sure. Again, big black space. The images here do not resonate with that image, right? Consistency. if you're going to have a stylish image, you need to continue that theme. Like we go from distressed antiquity, or like, you know, like this says like luxury, upmarket, niche. And then we get to boom, like here's the bed, right? Here's the bed kind of thing. So I would, and I know it's advertising the location, but it doesn't fit. If you get what I'm saying, it doesn't really fit. Yeah. And that's not your fault. It's like whatever content you have to work with. Yeah, that's a nice form. The form is quite nice. That yellow there works quite well with the contact box there. And then you got your footer. But I feel like there's a lot of black space. And I don't feel like the images always connect with one another. So Ali, I hope that was okay. Right, Johnny, if you're there, right, we're going to jump on your website. So, Johnny, you've messed around with your website quite a few times with me. Don't worry, Hollis. Red on grey. It doesn't completely work for me. It doesn't completely work. It kind of works. If you want that to work, you've got to make this more saturated, and you've got to add in a bit of a white overlay, because there's still quite a lot of strong black coming through. So you've got to whiten it. So saturated is okay, but now you have to whiten it and brighten it up a little bit. Then we jump into blue. I mean, this is a bit of a divide, but I know it's the logo. Yeah, okay, the images work. Image there. Yeah, it kind of works. That does. Even that is legible, so I'll let that go. Images are strong. You know, this image knocks me with the luminous. Every other image I accept, but that there with the luminous, I feel like you've got to get rid of that image, because we have a vibe going on here. We have greys, we have red, we have blue, and then we have boom, in your face luminous. And that luminous there does not, you know, kind of like, meh. I would grayscale that image or change it to be something else. You know, personal gripes. Now here, you can get away with the luminous, because you have a theme now. You got blue, you got luminous, you got grays. It works. But up here, it throws me blue, red, gray, boom, luminous. It's like it jars me. It makes me go like that. So that's my only feedback there. Yeah, it works. I mean, I would say though that if you're going to use this curve effect, that what you've got going on here, I would be tempted to add in a curved effect here before, because the footer now, it just feels like curve, flat. In the header, it's okay to be flat, but then you go curve, flat. So I would add in a bit of curve over there as well. You know, that would probably I mean, Kate makes a good point. What's the wave got to do with boxing? I think it's more about ducking and diving, maybe, or something like that. Okay, nice one. Thank you for putting that through, Johnny. Now, I have been live for 1 hour and 13 minutes, and I am now going to call it a day. I'm going to jump off in about 2 minutes. So 2-minute warning, everyone. I hope that helped, Johnny. I know you've been working on this website quite a bit. The thing is, though, Johnny, are there any other images where he's not in luminous? So just because he is the focal point doesn't mean anything. John, Ground Pets, am I going to be on tomorrow? I don't think I will be on tomorrow. I've got quite a bit to get on. My new phone arrives as well, so I've got to set that up. So I'm jumping around a little bit. So I won't be on tomorrow, but I should be back on Monday. I think I should be back on Monday. So Johnny, even though they're a famous Dutch fighter, who cares? It's the power of the image, right? good, strong image, resonates with the content and the wording, it all fits. Because let's just say they were wearing a neon green uniform and your website is blue and red. It doesn't work. Yeah. And Johnny, whenever I do the live chats now, I will be saying to people, hey, do you want to kind of like join in? And if you want to join in, you can do. Okay, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks for being here. Thanks to RT. Thanks to Johnny, Jonathan, for joining on the live chat. Thanks to Ali for sending in his website for review. Thanks to Johnny Coconut. Thanks to everyone that keeps me company and keeps us going, right? But the Web Squadron course, which is learn.websquadron.co.uk, if you enter in the coupon code BOOST in capitals, it probably works in lowercase as well, you get 25% extra off, but that ends in 9 days, right? And we will offer a discount on Black Friday. I'd be lying if we weren't, but it ain't going to be 25%. It might be 15-ish, give or take, but that's about it. So look, take care, everyone. See you all soon. Bye. See you soon. Bye.